Hey YouTube, my name's KushiKush and I've just been playing in the Light and Dark event. Can you guess what deck I've been using? Well, I featured it in a video a little bit earlier. It's actually Blackwings. I'm using a Blackwing deck. This is my win-loss ratio. Yeah, I do have some losses, but man, look at all those wins. And you know what? Before we get started with the video, the replays, and the deck, I just want to say that this video is officially pro approved. Yes, that means that I have an actual Blackwing player who does say, hey, it's legit. So let's just jump into it. Let's go into the deck profile. So this is just like a traditional Blackwing structure deck. We just have the Blackwing core. I'm not going to go too much in depth. I've talked about it in previous videos. This one, I just want to showcase how powerful it is in this event. But yeah, essentially what we're doing is we're either, if we go first, we set up our board where we have the Omni Negate with Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. We have Blackwing. If they activate monster effects, they get burned. And we can also bring out Full Armor Master. It's pretty simple, and we do it fairly often, like every single duel. Besides that, we also have Going Second cards. Lightning Storm, insanely powerful card. In fact, in the OCG, it's like limited to 1, I think. I don't know why more people don't use it. It's a really good card. It is. It's a legit good card. We also have Evenly Matched, 3 of it. Going Second card, really good. Infinite Impermanence is just a good hand trap. Let's just jump into the replays and I'm going to show you guys how it works, combos, all the yada. Let's start off with the first replay. This is against a King of Games 1. So this is one of the top tier players. And we'll see how that went. Our opening hand, very decent. Shamal can search as a spell, Simon is an additional normal summon, and Yada's the best Blackwing in the entire deck. So we're just going to banish the girl that we don't need in our hand. Chinook, we're going to normal summon the Simon. Simon usually searches out Sudri because it's not considered the first normal summon. So this is just an additional one. Sudri is our second normal summon technically in the turn. And yeah, we're going to special summon our Vata. Vata is just a 1-card synchro. It also sends cards directly from the deck. The most important one is Zephyros, which we can just bounce a spell, special summon it. Let me speed this up because it's like a lot of stuff. The spells can special summon from the graveyard. We're just going to activate the spell again after we bounce it back from the hand. So if we synchro summon like we just did, special summon again from the graveyard, and we're going to go into another synchro. This guy sends from the deck directly and then changes the level. It's also a tuner synchro, which is pretty useful because that allows us to go into our big boss monster. Besides that, Black Whirlwind, we're just getting an additional normal summon with nothing, and then we normal summon Sudri, who's not a hard one to return, so we get an additional search. Go into Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, that's our Omni Negate. We have our Black Full Armor Master, who's just super hard to get rid of. We're going to go into Blackwing Dragon. We're going to go into another Blackwing Dragon. And then we're going to just start synchroing our Blackwinged Assault, who, when our opponent activates a monster effect, they take burn damage, as you'll see. So they're going to activate Danger Nessie, where they discard a card in their hand. And then they are going to activate another one. They're going to take more burn damage. And then they're going to activate Tier Elements. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, oh shoot, I'm playing against Tier Elements. Did they mill anything good? Yeah, they milled the fusion. They're going to go into Kikalos. They're going to attempt to activate the effect. We're going to negate that just because they could add a variety of things to trap a spell. We don't really want that. They're going to activate Raigeki. They kind of forgot that our spell protects our monster from destruction effects as long as we have a black feather, and they scoop. Now this replay is going to be against a Diamond 1 player, and we're going second, but luckily we actually saw our going second cards. We have Lightning Storm, we have Evenly Matched. So we're going to hit off with Lightning Storm, and they have nothing to negate that, so we just pop their back row. Pot of Prosperity comes in really clutch here because we actually get a Simon into our hand, and Simon and any other Blackwing is kind of full combo. It's weird to say, but essentially it searches a Sudri and Black Whirlwind, and then Sudri gets an effect, but they're going to effect Viller it, which is like, oh, well, that kind of sucks. Oh well, let's continue our plays, you know? So we're going to go into, I believe, Vata into Blackwing, and they just scoop. We had a lot of things going on. In fact, we had 2 special summons coming from the graveyard. We can go into additional synchros. Our turn wasn't going to end there. Alright, replay number 3. This is also against a Diamond player. And this one, our opening hand isn't really that good. I mean, we have 2 Simon. I'm just hoping to see something up the top of the deck. We see a Shamal. Shamal is just going to grab us a spell, so when we synchro, we can special summon from the graveyard. Black Whirlwind, if we normal summon, we can get an additional search. Right here, we get 2 searches. And this is where things get a little bit crazy. Sudri's gonna normal summon. Sudri searches, 2 spells, search, we get 3 cards to our hand. And Sudri doesn't need to add a monster, so we add the spell. So now we have 2 of the spells that when we synchro, like we just did right there, we get 2 free specials from our graveyard. And then not only that, we're going to use Zephyros, just bounce one of the spells that special summon from the graveyard, activate it again, and then now we get an additional special summon from the graveyard. We're going to go Blackwing Assault Dragon. Then we're going to attempt to go into another one because we have a 6 tuner and we have a 4 on our field, so we could just synchro into it. And yeah, we're going to go Hot Red Dragon Archfiend right there, and then just banish 2 materials from our graveyard, and we have 3. We have an Omni Negate, we have a super strong monster. They activate a monster effect, they take, what is that, like 2,100 damage? Yeah, they just scoop. It was over at that point. It's too much. And even if they tried to like Raigeki us, we had the Omni Negate. If they activate a monster effect, they try to Raigeki us, we just remove a Blackwing counter. None of our monsters are destroyed. And this is just a hand where we're going first and we only have 1 Blackwing in our hand. Luckily, it's the second best Blackwing in our entire deck, Sudri, who's just normal summon, add. Along with that, we have Black Whirlwind, which is just when you normal summon, add. So we're going to be able to search out a tuner, Vata, the most important one, and Shamal. I really like Shamal because we can search out our 3rd spell. So if we do go into synchro like we're going to do right here, we get 3 specials from our graveyard. I don't think I choose to activate all 3 just because I want to keep 1 live for later, because I don't want to fill up our field with just like, I don't want to say useless garbage, but like monsters that generally like may not be as useful as bringing back a synchro would be. So yeah, Zephyros is just going to bounce, and then we're going to activate again. We're going to go into Storm. It's going to send from the deck. And now we can go into our first big boss synchro. Not bad, we're going to use our 3rd copy of the special summon that's banished during the graveyard. Go into Full Armor Master. We're going to synchro again. And now this field is not as impressive as I could have did. I did make a Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, which is Omni Negate, and I only made 2 of these. I kind of flopped. I've kind of failed. And we're playing against Labyrinth. Labyrinth is, you know, it's a tough deck to play against with all those traps. And we drew Lightning Storm. Lightning Storm doesn't do anything because Lightning Storm can only be activated if we control no face-up cards. Well, sadly, we have a field full of face-up cards. So we're just going to have to play through all of this. I'm going to make 3 of these. And the one thing I would say that I messed up in this is I didn't make a Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. I could have made an Omni Negate. I chose not to. I'm not entirely sure why. Instead, we just get hit with the Mirror Force. Everything goes back to the extra deck. And things aren't looking the best for us, but we're not out of the game just yet. We still have 1 free special summon from the graveyard. Shamal is going to add us back a card in our graveyard. They're going to activate Archfiend's Ghastly, which just pops a card. They're going to try to pop our Black-Winged Dragon. We're just going to remove a Feather counter. Stopped it. And yeah, we're actually doing pretty good now. Right here, they're just going to special summon their monster. We're going to lower their monster's attack, or at least attempt to lower their monster's attack. They're just going to bounce it back to the hand. We're going to tribute our level 8 synchro. We're going to go into Storm. We're going to send the, what is it, Shangri-La. This one can pop a face-up card, which is actually pretty powerful. The reason I'm not using it here is because this card, while the opponent controls a set spell or trap, cannot be destroyed by battle or targeted. So that's kind of nutty. Also, they're going to destroy all our spells. At this point, some people may be thinking like, man, the game's over, right? Look at their life points. If they activate even 1 monster effect, even 1, they're dead. So right here, I think we're going to use Shamal. We're going to attempt to pop their card. They're going to bounce it back to their hand. And then they realize they can't use monster effects or they're going to die. And they scoop. So far, what are you thinking about the deck? I think that this Blackwing deck, this free-to-play friendly deck, is going against Labyrinth in the Dark event. It is insane. But now, let's just say, this is just the Dark event. This isn't like where Maxi is legal, where Ash Blossom's legal, because Maxi really hurts his deck. As you'll notice in every single one of the replays I show off, I special summon a lot. When the opponent drops a Maxi, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to just make them take the Maxi challenge? It's kind of hard, but in this specific event where those powerful hand traps aren't available, this deck really shines. And actually, it shows a lot for the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! So if Maxi eventually does get banned in Master Duel, you might be seeing more Blackwings running around. This deck is no joke. It is, and I'm starting to think it may be the strongest structure deck in the entire game. Although there are a few crafts, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend does not come in a structure deck, but you can easily incorporate it into it. It's like a 1 UR add. But yeah, let's go back to the replay. I wasn't talking about it. We're gonna go into nothing. So what I'm attempting to do there was just normal summon again and keep the ball rolling, get my searches going. But I guess they scooped. They didn't want to deal with it. Mainly because we have an Omni Negate on our board. And yeah, my name is KushiKush. I hope you enjoyed this video. I do make Yu-Gi-Oh content. I make other content as well. And if you like this video, feel free to like it, subscribe if you want to see more stuff I'm making. This is going to be the final replay. It's against Orcust, and I think Orcust is a fairly confident deck. I mean, it's not like they make a bad board, as you'll see. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for this video. I really love playing with Blackwings. Blackwings is one of those decks that I never really played when they came out originally, like back in 2013, but I had friends who played them, and they weren't bad. Also, I think they kind of dominated the meta back then. I'm glad to see that they can be played at least competitively in this event, which is really nice because it's like a free-to-play deck. But I definitely don't think I will be taking this deck into the ladder, for the main fact that Maxi, Ash Blossom exists, and Maxi destroys this deck. But yeah, let's look at our opponent's board. It's our turn. We're going to use Pride of Prosperity for 6. I'm trying to count on my fingers. And they're going to make a Borderland Dragon, which cannot be destroyed by battle card effects or cannot be targeted. So, or at least targeted by monster effects. We're going to activate Infinite Impermanence, so now it can be destroyed by battle, but still not by card effects. And we are just going to do our plays. But they're not done. They still got plays of their own. They're going to send a monster from their deck to the graveyard, make Borderland a little bit bigger. It's like, okay, well, let's see what else we can do. We're going to do Shangri-La, who just allows us, it's just a tuner at this point. We're going to try to go into Synchro. They're going to summon that Orcust from the graveyard, sends our monster. We summon Vata, and I mean, we had full combo. So, anyways, my name's KushiKush. Hope you have a great day or night, and maybe I'll catch you next time. Later.